Tell me what you're drinking, we can go pour one. Tell me what you're thinking, we can have some more fun.
Welcome to a new episode of Stealing Home, the most unserious show in baseball with the best brother and sister duo in baseball. I'm Lisa, this is my brother Anthony, and we've got the best episode ever for you tonight. I think this is really going to be the one.
Without a doubt, I looked at what we have lined up, and this is going to be unequivocally, good word, unequivocally the best show we've ever had in our history. And we say that every night, but I think we mean it this time. We seriously
This time we mean it.
Seriously.
This time we mean it. If you're here, thank you for being here and joining us on the show. We're still on the path to 1,000. So if you have a chance right now, if it's not too much of a bother, feel free to subscribe or leave a comment, like the video. All that stuff really helps us. And to everyone who's done it so far, thank you again. Like, we really appreciate it.
Subscribe or else. I'll say that right now.
Me.
Look,
thank you so much.
I've sacrificed a lot to be here tonight. I'm going through some intestinal reconstruction right now, and we may have a Code Brown on the show live. Okay.
So
if I can do the show, then y'all can subscribe, all right?
Real talk. It was very dicey for a second whether or not we're going to come on here.
Fighting
might
demons.
be hooked up to an IV. We don't know.
I'm sweating bullets right now. I am sweating bullets. Might have a Code Brown. Might have to hit the what is it? What do they call it? The pearly throne or whatever. Whatever. All right, let's get to baseball.
Let's get to baseball.
Yeah. Staying on the poopy topic, there are a lot of poopy teams. Let's look at the weekly recap and see what's happened around the league last week. Around the league last week. All right.
Okay, got it.
English, baby. All right, well, the Dodgers swept the Mets. Talk about a poopy team. It seems like 2 or 3 weeks ago, we had an episode and a topic during one of our episodes where I was like, hey, the Mets might be back.
No, yeah, I agree. I thought, the Mets, not bad. Yeah. They have hope. Now, hope is lost.
Bad.
It's not looking good. I mean, it's never lost, but,
no, it's lost. Hope's lost.
Sometimes it is lost. We'll talk about Chicago in a second.
The mediocre Mets, they lose. Seattle Mariners end up being the Houston Astros. We'll look at the divisions later on this episode too.
Yeah, we're going to talk about all the divisions, so stay tuned for that because this is all going to matter in a second.
Cardinals stayed hot in the middle of the week, beat the Reds. The Orioles beat Boston, kind of separating themselves from them. Milwaukee beat the Cubs in a good series at Milwaukee. Padres and
big
Marlins.
Win for them.
Yep. Rangers,
and
I think that was a 2-game series, if I'm not crazy. Swept the Diamondbacks in 2 games. I think so. Nationals beat the Braves. The Nationals are not a bad team.
They're not. They're surprisingly not.
Not as bad as I thought they were going to be. I thought they were going to be like, I was just about to say Oakland level bad, but even Oakland's not too bad, although they are regressing.
They're regressing, but they're not as bad as I think we thought they would be. But then again, moving to our next series, the Oakland A's did lose to the Tampa Bay Rays, and
regressing a little.
Kind of who's the worst of the worst here?
You're saying the Rays are bad? My favorite team? Or no?
Are we not? Did we not establish they're bad?
No, I said they're extremely average, which still holds up. They are extremely average. All right, the Rockies beat the Guardians.
If average is a spectrum, they're on the low end of that spectrum. But
they are extremely average. The Rockies beat the Guardians. Toronto swept the White Sox.
Which you cannot. I know we got to get. But the Rockies beating the Guardians is like actually a big deal.
I know it is.
Because the Guardians were on like a 7-game win streak. And then to lose to the Rockies, were they home or were they in Colorado?
Well, like remember what you talked about last episode? How they're terrible away, but they're actually a pretty average team at home.
They're good at home.
They're a mile high, baby. Don't play the Rockies when they're a mile high. That's the last.
How did I know? That's
the last
funny.
place you want to play the Rockies. So yes, they were home. They did beat the Guardians. Toronto, if you're a team that's kind of scuffling like Toronto was, the best thing that could happen to you is that you have a series against the White Sox because you sweep them, unless you're the Rays and you get swept by them.
I was going to say, or the worst thing that could happen to you. It's very dodgy. You don't know.
No, it's like Russian roulette. Like six chambers, 5 of those are going to be safe. That one, though, you're going to get swept by the White Sox. But 5 out of 6 times, you're going to sweep them. So you're playing with the one
playing
in the
with fire there, but it worked out for the Blue Jays.
I remember last week too, we were talking about how this is going to be a big week for the Phillies because they hadn't played the best teams on their schedule, still had the best record in baseball, but hadn't played anyone that was, I guess
substantial,
exactly, or impressive. Played the Giants, who were on a little bit of a run. The Giants aren't that impressive either, but they were on a run when they played them during the middle of the week. Giants ended up beating the Phillies midweek. Pirates and Tigers split, and the Yankees handled business in LA against the Angels.
Which is what they needed to do.
Switch over to the weekend series. Mets and Diamondbacks split. Diamondbacks are, I guess, carrying over what they did last year. Kind of like they were 81-81 when they made the playoffs. So
they're sneaky. So I'm not ready to count them out.
Yeah,
but
me neither. Like, remember last year, the Diamondbacks were really good in the beginning of the year and then averaged towards the end, right before they made playoffs and got hot again at the end. Like there was a point where they were like, oh, this was a what if team. They were good for a little bit. So maybe it's the opposite this year. Maybe they're average and then they'll turn it on at the end. Who knows? But
as long as you make it, who cares?
Twins beat the Astros, so another series loss for the Astros. Now the Cubs are scuffling real bad right now too. They were right behind the Brewers. Now they've lost a few series. The Reds ended up beating them. The Yankees swept the Giants in San Francisco, and I just saw a bunch of highlights of people hitting home runs. Aaron Judge made that park look tiny. Juan Soto, I think, hit one into the bay out there and bat flipped like crazy. The Dodgers beat the Rockies, well, because they weren't in Denver.
Because they weren't in Colorado.
Maybe
What's
we
going
found
on?
Maybe we found something. That Colorado, y'all just need to schedule all your games at home. I know it's not possible.
You've heard all the conspiracy theories about like Denver, right?
Like, yeah, the airport and stuff. Like,
yeah, clearly something's going on at the Rocky Stadium too. And if the Rockies could just have every game be a home game and then also play the World Series as a home game, they'd have a decent shot, actually.
Yeah, that's something's in the water for them, I guess. But also, it's not like they're undefeated at home. They're 500. So let's not get ahead of ourselves. They're still bad.
I'm just saying they'd have a chance. I didn't say they'd win. I'm just saying they'd actually be able to play a game.
Well, Rangers beat the Marlins. Braves handled business against Oakland. Again, Oakland's starting to regress a little bit to the norm. Guardians got back on that horse, ended up winning their series against the Nationals. Again, not a bad team, the Nationals. Not a bad team. Baltimore beat the Rays, almost swept them. They won the first two games. The Mariners, how about this? The Mariners are starting to run away with the division. How long have I been saying that no one over there wanted to win that division? One of our boys, one of our fans that keeps coming and watching our episodes, shout out 40 Nights. I think is his name.
Yeah.
Mariners fan.
Yeah.
Congrats to you. It looks like they're doing good, but a long season, dude. We got a long season.
But yeah, you said it before. Like someone just has to decide that they actually want to win some games, and Mariners have decided that that's what they're going to do. So good for them.
Yep. Tigers and Boston split again. Then we got Blue Jays beating the Pirates. So okay, Blue Jays trying to, I guess, salvage their season, because it was like a week ago. Everyone was like, "Oh, trade, like shut it down." Clear house, like it's over for the Blue Jays, and now they're trying to save their season. The Brewers swept the White Sox getting swept again, and then Phillies and Cardinals. Phillies ended up bouncing back after losing to the Giants. They beat the Cardinals, who are also a hot team, so they played two hot teams. Phillies, I think, have done pretty well. They still got the second best record, I think, in baseball, but
they're doing fine.
Yeah, and we split that primetime game.
Padres beat the Royals. I don't know I think you might have missed that one.
Yeah, I might have skipped that subconsciously, the Royals fan in me, because the Royals are slowing down a bit, and I hate to see that, but hopefully they get back on top. Anything, I guess, midweek where you're like, ooh, this is a shock to me? The Yankees are playing really well right now.
The Yankees are playing really well. I think if we're going to go into the division update now, I think we can just start talking about that, because everything I'm going to say is going to have to do with where we're standing right now at the end of month 2.
All right. Go ahead. Take the floor. You want to say something about the Yankees or something?
Well, I guess. Sorry, I'm just pulling it up. So do you want to go division by division?
Yeah, I got the AL East up right now.
Okay.
And like I said, the Yankees are playing really good ball right now. And the Orioles are right behind them. Like we said, I think we said this last month too. This is now a 2-team race. Like, we were unsure about the Yankees. Yeah. They're for real. The Yankees are for real.
They're for real this year. Yeah, no, especially a lot of our preseason talk and beginning of the season, I think we had a lot of reservations, especially me as like a reformed Yankees fan. You don't have a lot of hope, but this season it does feel like they're somewhat back to whatever they're supposed to be. I guess my question to you is, okay, so it's a 2-team race here. Who do you... It's the end of May. It's June 3rd.
Still,
who do you have winning? I know there's lots of baseball.
I was about to say,
blah,
how many times have you heard me say that?
Right. We all know it. But you also tell me we have to make predictions on this show.
Stephen
so
A.
At this,
all right, go ahead.
At this point, who do you like for the AL East to win?
Oh. All right, Stephen A. take. Oh, well, the Orioles just had 2 starters go down. I think John Means and some other guy for the Orioles just got hurt.
The Orioles have they have like a deep bench though, don't they? I mean,
yeah, but I'm talking about starting
young team.
I'm talking about starting pitching. And starting pitching's tough to come by. I'll just say Orioles because I hate the Yankees. That's my Stephen A. take.
Wow. That's shocking.
That I hate the Yankees, it's not that shocking. But I'll go Orioles because my Stephen A. take is, well, the Yankees are going to get injured at some point in the season. So that's my Stephen A. voice. I don't know if it was good, and I don't think that's true. I think the Yankees are probably going to win. It's a 2-team race. I don't know. But if I had to pick one, I'm going Baltimore because I hate the Yankees. Okay. So, sorry. I think I would put my money on the Yankees at this point, especially if they stay hot like they've been. They're going to have a great summer. Who do you think's going to be at the bottom of this one? Blue Jays.
No question?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's my Stephen A. take too. I think Tampa Bay, I'm biased, but they're just extremely average. And I think the Blue Jays aren't, like on paper, they're better, but.
They're tied right now with the Blue Jays.
You sure?
Yeah.
In the app, on my screen, the Rays are 29-31 and 28-30 for the Blue Jays.
But percentage-wise, they've played more games. Like percentage-wise, they're tied.
Okay, I guess I see what you're saying. Yeah,
they've played 2 more games.
I don't care. I just believe the Rays will figure it out more than the Blue Jays will.
That's fair. The AL East, I feel like we should probably just move on because I feel like there's no real surprises here.
Well, said it before. I just think it's fascinating that the Yankees are playing so good right now, and part of that is because of Aaron Judge. Remember how we talked about before when Juan Soto was hot and Judge was kind of scuffling in April?
Yes.
Well, now it's May, and now they're both hot.
Well, back then we talked about if Judge was in a slump, Soto was picking up the slack. If you've got 2 guys, hopefully they can kind of carry each other in times when, because they're going to have a slump eventually. Like Judge is going to come out of this at some point. He's not going to be as hot. Then Soto can pick it up. Soto will have a slump. Judge can pick it. And then if they're both hot at the same time.
Yeah, and it goes like that for the whole lineup. When the Rays last year went 13-0 and then 27-3, their entire lineup was hitting on all cylinders. Now you got Judge, you got Soto, Anthony Volpe's hitting pretty well. Verdugo's starting to hit the long ball too.
When you've got your cornerstone guys, I think doing really well, I think it boosts the entire team. So I'm not surprised to see that this is happening. And if they can keep the momentum up when there is going to be an inevitable slump for Judge because we've got 4 more months left, or Soto, it'll carry them.
I saw Garrett Cole also got a rehab start too. So just wait till they get the horse back.
He's been in rehab for 3 weeks or something.
Oh, but he got on the mound. I don't know, but he's
coming
back.
I've been waiting.
It's winter's coming, Game of Thrones. Garrett Cole is coming.
Exactly.
Garrett Cole is coming.
That's a great point. If they keep playing like this, Yankees winning the World Series. Are you willing to make that?
No, I just said they're going to lose the division. I'm not going to say the Yankees won the World Series. Get out of here.
I don't know.
I'm a certified Yankee hater. Why would I ever say that?
The Yankee fan in me is coming out.
Weirdo.
I'm I don't know. This could be our year.
Yeah, I hate that about you. I'm about to cancel the show. I just wanted to shout out Aaron Judge, though, after that slow April. Listen to these stats from May. 14 home runs. Am I right in reading that correctly? 14 home runs in 1 month. Is that true? I don't know. That might not. But if he hit 14 home runs in 1 month, that's absolutely absurd. 361 average, 27 home runs, 1.397 OPS. Who cares? On base plus slugging.
I was saying, you're gonna give me his WAR next.
Yeah, I was like, I know you don't probably know what OPS is. It's just your on base percentage plus your slugging. Anything over 1,000 is pretty dang good. He's got a 1,300 and 12 stolen bases to boot. Why not? Just steal some bags too if you're doing all that. So shout out to Aaron Judge. He's absolutely dominating. All right, let's go to the American League Central, which is being dominated by the Cleveland Guardians, who are 4 games up on the Royals. Last time we talked, the big three were Cleveland, Kansas City, and Minnesota, and nothing's really changed. Detroit has been average. Honestly, I think if anything's changed...
Is it Minnesota or Detroit?
What do you mean?
Last time we talked.
It was Minnesota. It was Minnesota.
Okay.
But Detroit was pretty good. Like, Detroit's been...
Yeah, Detroit's not
average.
bad.
Yeah. Detroit's been average. But
you know what my eye goes to when I'm looking at this division?
The White Sox and how bad
Oh, my
they are.
God.
0-10, losers of 11 in a row.
It makes me sad. I'm actually very sad at this point.
Yeah, it sucks.
I don't want to keep watching. I don't want this for them. I don't even have any ill will towards the White Sox. Like, if this was like a team I really didn't like, I'd probably be happy, but I don't feel happy looking at this. I'm just sad.
Even if this was a team I didn't really like, I feel like I'd be kind of sad. It's like when you see someone that you don't like a fighter or something in boxing or UFC, and you really don't like them, so you want them to lose, and you see them getting beat really bad and they just won't stay down.
They're like knocked out. Yeah.
It's a bad sign when it's May and you're looking forward to the season being over already. I think that happened in April for White Sox fans. But yeah, I don't know. Who do you have 2 months in? Any big surprise here in this division? Are you surprised that the Royals are still relevant?
No, not at all. I mean, from this division, we got the Twins last year and we got them barely. So let's not pretend like there was ever going to be any like owner of this division coming out of last season. I think the Guardians they've stamped their name on this division. Like, they are going to win. I have no doubt that we will be seeing the Guardians for the AL Central.
I'm not sure if I said this last time, but I feel like this was my stance with the Central, is that I thought it was, at the time, I thought it was the best division in baseball. I don't know if that's still holds true right now. I think it's them in the East that are the best.
The AL East?
Yes, but what I said last time with the AL Central was the top 3 teams, I thought one of them was going to fall off, right? Mm-hmm. And I think out of all of them, I don't remember if I said it was the Guardians or the Twins. If I said it was the Guardians, I was so wrong. Looking at it now, I don't know if it's going to be the Twins or the Royals. I like the Royals. I think they're good, but I don't know. Let me ask you, Twins or Royals, which one of them is going to fall off if one were to fall off and just be 2 good teams in this division and one misses playoffs?
Yeah. I mean, it really, for that second place here, it's a 2-man race. I wouldn't put it past the Twins to just be consistent and win enough to get them on top of the Royals. So, I mean, I could really go either way. I'd prefer the Royals, but if it's the Twins, I wouldn't be surprised either.
Yeah, I think the Twins have a little bit more experience because they won it last year and they've been in the mud a little bit. All right, let's
I'm thinking, but
try to go through some of these a little bit quicker. We got Seattle. Finally, somebody stepping up to the plate and saying, all right, I want to make sure the Astros don't win this division, because it looked like the Astros were like zombies coming out of the ground.
Are we willing to say now that the Astros are dead this season?
No. I'll say it. No, they're not dead. There's a wild card out there, Lisa. There's 3 wild card spots out there for the taking. How far back are they from the wild card? Let me look this up. The Astros are okay. All right, yeah.
They're not in.
They're 7.5 back. They're the same distance.
Yeah. So, and they've actually got some decent competition. I mean, in the wild card race, Orioles, Royals, Twins. I mean, those are teams that I expect to continue doing what they're doing. And even if they don't, on top of the Astros, we still have the Tigers and the Rangers, who I feel like
and Boston and the Rays
could do well. And then you also, the Red Sox and the Rays, which either of them could wake up and decide that they want to actually play this season. So, I mean, you could say the same thing for the Astros, that they could wake up this season, but I don't know, man. I'm just saying. I'm feeling
I'm not doing
more
it
and
yet.
more confident.
I think you're right.
It was a wild take when I said it, but the longer we do this, the less wild a take it is.
Yeah, I mean,
all I'm saying.
I'm starting to see it, but I'm just going to be stubborn. I'm saying no.
Okay.
They still got
That's
a shot.
Fine.
They still got a shot. Just because I don't know if I trust the other teams in the West to run away. If they get in, it's through the division. I don't think they're winning the wild card.
I was going to say, if they somehow if they were to somehow win the American League or something, I would take you to dinner at this point.
I never claimed that they would do that. I just said they're not dead. If they finish above 500, take me to dinner.
No, they're
Okay.
probably going to finish above 500.
All right, NL East. Let's move over there. The Phillies are now 5-5, so they did slow down a little bit, playing some tougher competition. But they won a series, lost a series, lost to the Giants, beat the Cardinals. They're now 6.5 over Atlanta, and Atlanta's without Ronald Acuna. So is Atlanta? Look, I'll say this probably a million more times. A lot of baseball left in the year. A lot of games to be played. Are you worried that Atlanta might not be able to catch the Phillies, or is this not a concern?
Not a concern at all.
All right. And
I think.
Sorry, go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I mean, yeah, the Phillies have been doing well against harder teams, but there's still a lot of baseball left. And I think I'm not worried about the Braves without having Acuna. I think they're deep enough that they'll be fine.
Yeah. And we said they won the World Series 2 years ago. Was it 2
without
years
him?
ago? Yeah, without him. It was not 2. Was it 2 years ago? Hold on. No, 3 years ago. Dang. Rangers, Astros, Braves. 3 years ago, they won the World Series without Acuna. All right. Other question I have here with how bad the Mets are now, and I think they're dead. We both agree on that. Like, they're done. They're done. Their season's over.
In this division, yeah, it probably is.
Okay, so who's gonna finish with the worst record? Marlins or Mets?
Marlins. The Marlins.
Okay.
The Marlins.
All right. Yeah.
Really?
No, yeah. Not a good question. I thought it would be a little bit harder to
I was
choose.
going to say, are you not agreeing that it's the Marlins? Because it's definitely the Marlins.
I'm a dummy. Before the season started, I thought the Marlins were going to be solid. They were in the playoffs last year.
No.
I know. And, well, they had Arias, and then they traded him. And Sexto Sanchez, they were making fun of him because he came back a little bit puffier.
The Marlins is another one that I have a sweet spot for, like the White Sox, because I don't like seeing teams that are just consistently awful. Like, I want them to just have something, and so I feel sorry for them. I'd rather, but then here's my question: would you rather be mediocre all the time like the Mets, or would you rather like be shitty for a very long time, but then suddenly like you're amazing and you win the World Series, but then you're bad for like the next 15 years?
I'd rather be what the Rays are, which is what a lot of teams are trying to be. Which is who said it? I think it was Seattle's owner or front office guy said something similar. Their goal is, and we talked about it a little bit one episode, was they want to be not all in to win a World Series, I guess is the wrong way to put it, but they want to be just good enough to make the dance and hope they get hot enough to win the World Series. So like the Rays are just good enough to make the playoffs for like the last 5 or 6 years.
Yeah.
And they made the World Series in 2020 but lost because they made a bonehead move to take out Blake Snell in Game 6. Or like the Diamondbacks, they made it all the way to the World Series and they were average. But they got hot at the right time and they were one of the best teams in baseball in October. So I think I'd rather be that, like a team that's average enough to make the playoffs consistently. Like you can be good without
Okay, but
you can be good without doing what the Orioles did and suck for a million years and then be good.
I know that I give you a lot of shit for the Rays. So know that I'm not doing this. This question is not because I want to antagonize you. It's actually a question I have, which is that the Rays the Rays have gone to the World Series a couple times. They're consistently in the playoffs. They have not won at all.
Uh-huh.
At what point, I guess, like, does that get frustrating to see? Because at least if they had won one,
of course
like,
it gets frustrating, but
like I would almost. It does. Would you rather them just? But don't you get mad that they never win?
No. Do you know teams tank?
I do.
No, the World Series is not a guarantee. So I'd rather at least be consistently. No, listen. I'd rather be consistently good. I'd rather be consistently good than suck for a certain amount of years, tank just to get good players, and hope that you win a World Series with all the good players you get.
Because but they don't have any.
They don't have any good players. The Rays don't have any good players.
They've never won any World Series ever.
It's hard to win a World Series.
But
they give themselves a chance. Like, look at what World Series has the Yankees won? What World Series have the Yankees won since 2009?
That's fair.
Okay,
but I guess
what have they been in?
They
haven't even been in one since 2009.
But what I'm saying is that they have a history to look back on. So at least you're like, well, at least I had 2009.
A history in black and white. Okay, and let's think about the White Sox. The White Sox are another team that tanked. in efforts to get a lot of good draft picks and rebuild their team through the draft. There's other ways to rebuild your team. And the Rays do it one way, that they have to do it because they don't want to spend any money, which is all right, whatever, dude. But the White Sox tanked, rebuilt their team through the draft, and they still sucked. So not only did you suck for X amount of years, right? You sucked for this amount of years in hopes that you'd be good here, but it turns out you're not good here either. So at least the Rays are like, love it or hate it, but they are good. They make the playoffs. So yeah, I'd rather I don't like the idea of tanking, if that's what you mean. I don't like tanking, especially now that you can get into the playoffs. There's 12 teams that make the playoffs now.
Yeah.
So especially
there's more
now,
avenues.
Exactly. Like you can get in now. It's easier to make the playoffs. So there's less of a reason to tank. You just got to get hot at the right time. Maybe add a piece here. Like now, there's going to be more teams that might be buyers at the trade deadline because they have the opportunity to win because they're going to be in a dance.
Because they know that they'll have it. Yeah. Okay. All right. No, it was just a question because I do think I don't know.
Shout out Lisa for pointing out that the Rays haven't won a World Series. But then also I want to point out the Yankees haven't won one since 2009, and they haven't been in one since 2009. So joke's on them.
We'll see.
They're not getting in this year. They're not getting in this year.
When they win this year, you're gonna have to buy me dinner.
They're not winning anything. All right, NL Central. This is the Poopy Award, Poopy Division Award. 4 teams under 500. The Cubs used to be good.
But the Brewers are in there. Give my Brewers a break. Yeah, they're doing well.
They're doing well. And do you think they're gonna run away with this? I think you said they were last time. I thought the Cubs were gonna catch up to them. Still time, like I said. I don't even know if the Cubs are gonna catch up to the Cardinals. Now.
I was going to say, I did think that the Cubs were going to maintain. I didn't think they were going to fall to the Cardinals, but egg on my face. Yeah, the Cardinals have put the Cubs in their place, I guess. So sorry, Levi, but I don't know. It might be the Cardinals. If they stay hot, it's not looking great for the Cubs.
This division pisses me off because it wasn't that long ago when I was saying, oh, wow, the Reds and the Pirates are pretty good. Like the Pirates might be for real this year. And then now, I mean, their record's not that bad. It's like every team, for the most part,
this division is a tease because, like, this is almost. It's interesting to me because the NL Central is almost like the opposite of the AL Central. Like the NL Central, you always think, oh, these guys, it's finally going to be their year. This division's going to take off, and all these teams are going to be great. This is going to be a powerhouse. Don't live up to the hype. This year, AL Central. There were people who thought like the Guardians were going to be hot and that other teams were going to be decent, but they're doing really well minus the White Sox. So it's almost like they're like mirrors of each other. So no one expects anything from one. They're doing really well. Everyone expects everything from this one, and they're trash. Garbaggio. Yeah. And
bad news for the Cubs. Shota Imanaga showed that he is a human being. He had like an ERA under 1. He had like a 0.83. I think he gave up like 7 runs in 4, something crazy like that. Had a bad start.
Nasty.
And God forbid his ERA blew up to over 1.8. Still good. So whatever. I just want to point that out. Shout out Shota Imanaga. Nasty
I just like
pitcher.
How you say that. It's
know.
The emphasis on all the syllables.
On the syllables, yeah. All right, Dodgers in the West running away with it. Like we thought they would. Now the Padres, 32-30, 6.5 back. Not bad. And the Giants, I think we pointed out. I was like, oh, look at the Giants out of nowhere. I feel bad. I feel like every time I'm like, oh wow, look at this team. They end up losing. Like I curse them.
Yeah, you just need to zip it.
God forbid.
Think
yeah.
The Padres did what we talked about the Padres needing to do. I feel a lot better for them. I think that we will have the Padres in the playoffs this year. I really do.
I want the Padres versus Dodgers in the playoffs. That would be awesome.
I would love that. And then I would love for the Padres to beat the Dodgers so that the Dodgers don't end up going far. And then we can all talk about and that's the crazy part is, I love a lot of players on the Dodgers. I want the chaos of them not making it at all.
Yeah, if the Dodgers and the Padres play each other, there's going to be a lot of bad blood. And there was a lot of bad blood this week between Tommy Pham and William Contreras.
Wait, before we move on, are we moving?
Yeah, I was going to.
Did you want to talk about wild card for that now?
No.
Okay, that's fine. I will just say this one last thought then. I think that someone at the White Sox should make a call over to someone at the Rockies and figure out what's going on at home. because if the White Sox could replicate what the Rockies do at home and like win more, they might not be so bad. Because look, the Rockies are at 300.
All right.
I don't know. Okay, that's all. I'm just saying something weird's going on in Colorado.
I'm just mad you interrupted the smoothest transition of my life.
I'm sorry. Do you want to fight me?
No. Oh, is this the transition? Whatever.
This is me giving you a pass.
Either way, Tommy Pham wanted to knock someone's teeth out today.
Right.
Not today, this past week, because there's a play at the plate, and let me show it on the screen now. Play at the plate. Tommy Pham slides in, and William Contreras starts talking crap to him. And I don't know if you know who Tommy Pham is, but he is not the man to be talking crap to, because he's about that. Tommy, I have some stories. I got some stories for you about Tommy Pham that I'll educate you and the listeners on if they don't know either. Because he used to play for the Rays. He was with the Cardinals, the Rays, Padres, Diamondbacks last year, and now he's with the White Sox. This was Tommy Pham. I'm going to show the other video or GIF too. If a guy is hitting one of these on you and then like shadow boxing on his way to the field and staring you down, I think you might have talked crap to the wrong guy. Tommy Pham is not to be, he's not to be played with. He is not to be played with. Just what's your initial take on this right here?
I mean,
I'm not sure. I don't know how much you know about Tommy Pham either. So
I don't, and you can tell me in a second. I think that I talked crap last week because of who was it? The Red Sox and the Brewers. Mm-hmm. Was it the Brewers? They came out of their dugouts and they just stood there and they didn't do anything. This is what I want. This amount of like, I actually think that he's about to go wreak some havoc. This is the kind. Put a Netflix bloom on that guy.
Oh my
gosh.
That's
what I want to see.
Dude,
I want to hear what he's saying.
Tommy Pham is one crazy dude. Like, he actually will fight.
Do we know what Contreras said?
No, I don't know. But whatever it was.
I saw the interview and he said he was talking shit or whatever.
Yeah, actually, I have Tommy Pham speaking on it right now. Let me just play it through the mic.
1-run ball game, close play at the plate. And actually, it wasn't even fucking close. It's a shallow fly ball to left field. You would expect the left fielder to throw the base runner out on that play, but the situation of the game, third base coach sends you got to go. I'm nailed out at home by a mile. I'm going to the dugout, and I hear the tough guy with all the hoorah shit. So I'll never start anything, but I'll be prepared to finish it. There's a reason why I do all kinds of fighting in the off season, because I'm prepared to fuck somebody up. So you can take it as what it is.
That sounds like a guy you don't want to mess with.
I was going to say, I normally think that the whole, like, I didn't start it, but I'll finish it is kind of like a corny take. But when he says it, I actually believe him. And I would not want him to finish anything.
No, you should believe him, too. Tommy Pham is crazy. Yeah. This is a guy who's been stabbed outside of, like, a club before, and I think played, like, a month later. He got stabbed and sent to the hospital or something. Honestly, he might have just walked himself to the hospital. Like, he's the type of guy that gets stabbed and the knife bends. Like this guy is crazy. And he also slapped Jock Peterson a couple years ago over fantasy football. He slapped another guy on a separate team. Wasn't even on his own team. He slapped a dude in the outfield before a game during batting practice. Just walked up to him and slapped him over fantasy football.
How do you feel about this guy? Because you know more about him than I do.
I'm a fan. I love Tommy Pham. Tommy Pham is crazy. This is a dude that he's been stabbed. He's very intense. He'll slap you over fantasy football. He does not play around. This guy does not play around. Everyone, I'm not going to say everyone, but a lot of people, players that have played with him, really enjoy him. And for a guy who's really intense and seems like a jerk or is very serious and like an a-hole, everyone who plays with him, I feel like enjoys his presence and likes to play with him, because I feel like with him, you know what you're going to get. He's like a dude that you would go and fight for. He's your boy. Like that. He seems like someone who he's gonna stick up for himself and you. And he doesn't take no BS. So I
agree with that take. I have no issue with him. Look, if in the context, I think it makes sense. Look, if I'm coming into home and you're gonna stand there, and first of all, I'm gonna hit you. Two, then you want to say something about it.
No, well,
then what do you have to say?
What's crazy was it wasn't even dirty or nothing. It was just a normal play. He slid and stopped. Like, why is Contreras even talking to him right here? Like,
he didn't really make the full slide. If you want to like play devil's advocate,
because the guy's standing right there. How's he supposed to make a full slide?
No,
like,
I know.
He didn't truck him. He slid right into him. Like, there's no reason. There's no reason to get mad as a catcher, in my opinion.
He didn't truck him, but he did. He wasn't gonna be pushed over. I don't have a problem with it. It
looked like a clean play to me. Like, he did not throw this. He slid in feet first. Like, he didn't even like.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. It was when he got up that he like pushed the catcher over.
He didn't even push him over. The catcher was standing right there. Like, there was nothing mean about it. And that, let me ask you this: there was another play in college. I have this too, and I'll put it on the screen. There was a play in college. Got this from ESPN. And this catcher goes off on this hitter. Like, are catchers getting soft nowadays to where any contact at home, you just think like, oh, I have the right to get mad at the runner? Because also this college kid, if he comes like, we're fighting. Like, you can't come up to me and start yelling at me like this. Like, dude, we're gonna fight. Like, what is this, dude? You can't come at me that hot and not expect me to give you a right hook to the jaw. Like, what is going on?
It's giving. Was it NHL and the goalies that were having like a similar thing where you can't even like look at a goalie now,
that's
then it
different.
becomes like a whole
that's
issue.
That's different. That's a different scenario because you're not supposed to touch the goalie. Baseball historically, you have been able to run over the catcher. Okay. It wasn't until recently they took that away. But if you're going to be blocking the plate and I have nowhere to slide, like what am I supposed to do? You're not supposed to block the plate either. And then it's like it's any contact now that with catchers. Where even if you slide into them like Contreras, they just feel like they can talk crap to you. Like, that makes no sense at all.
I'll be honest. I have been, I don't want to say trucked, but I have been like, I've run into people while running the bases or while playing in the infields. And like, I think there is a little bit of a natural reaction to kind of like, like if you get bummed forcibly by someone maybe bigger than you or stronger than you, I think it's natural to kind of like look back at them. It's one thing to kind of like be like, whoa, what the hell? And another thing to like go off like that catcher did, that college catcher. Like, that's insane.
What about Contreras though?
I don't know what he said. So I feel like,
is there even a point to say anything? Like, what do you have to say?
No.
Because at least the college one,
you're right.
At least the college one, there was a little bit more contact. Pham's was a clean slide. The college one had more contact. To me, it just looks like catchers are getting soft, and any little piece of contact. Now I'm like, the guy just created like a crime against humanity because he didn't slide into the plate. Like, get out of here, dude. Fool yourself.
You can't be and you can't be upset when you're standing in front of the plate if you get hit. Like,
where do you want him to go? And then not only, but you go like, it's one thing if like the guy tried to truck you and then you held onto the ball and then it's like, yeah, like, I got the ball, like,
I got the ball.
Exactly,
yeah.
right? But the dude was legit like this, like, yo, you good? He like had his hands up, like, you good? I'm sorry, man, you good? And you still come at him? It was clearly not malicious. Like, why are you mad? And I played middle infield, and if someone slid hard into me, but not like dirty, but like breaking up the double play, and you do things to protect yourself, like jump over him or make sure your legs are in a position where it doesn't hurt you. Like, that was just fun. It was part of the game. It was like, hey, good job, man. Because guess what? I'm gonna do the same thing when I'm running the bases. So it's like, I don't know. To me, this looks soft.
I mean, I was gonna say this is hard for me because you're gonna know my take on this. Because I've said it before.
I don't actually. I think you're on the side of the catchers.
These guys are soft.
Oh.
These guys are soft.
You sounds like you were on the side of the catchers earlier.
No, I mean, I wanted to hedge because like I don't know what he actually said, and I don't want to be like, oh, all he said was like, oh, that was dirty, and then like that's not a reason to fight. But no, yes, they are. All these guys are soft. How many times on this show have I complained about the bullshit about sliding into second base, and how people were complaining about that because oh, it might be unsafe or something. Come on, what are we doing? At this point, let's just let AI do it then.
All
like,
right.
why are we even putting men out there? I'm just saying, like, no, you can't. Look, you're already wearing more protection than everybody out there. You've got pads out the wazoo, and you're upset.
Still hurts though. It still hurts.
I don't care. I'm not. Yes, I understand. You were to get trucked, still hurts.
Like what happened to Contreras, not at all.
I'm not saying it's not gonna hurt, but what I am saying is you're the most protected man out here, and you're gonna get upset over something like this. Yes, they're soft.
Yeah.
Yes, they're soft.
I think.
Okay.
I think you're right. It depends on like what happens. Like
and the new rules about this, which clearly, like, I don't know about that one. They're not allowed to stand in front of home plate when the runner's coming in. I don't know the whole situation there, so maybe he was allowed to do that. But we just talked about another game where that happened, and he was somehow still called out, even though he should have been safe because of where the catcher was standing. That rule's stupid too. If the catcher wants to stand there, stand there. If you get hit, then don't complain.
I like
That's
that.
all I'm like.
I like that.
Don't be a bitch about it.
Whoa.
No, because if I don't want to get hit,
rein it back.
I'll stand off and I'll do a swipe, or like you do that.
Yeah.
And you don't have to stand in front. Just don't stand in front.
All right. Well, let's move on. Before we move on, though, quick fun.
Was that enough for you?
Quick story of Tommy Pham. They asked him one time when he was with the Rays. He got like a walk-off hit, and I think he said like, well, "Who are you thankful for?" Like, proud of. It might have been during Father's Day or Mother's Day or something. And they asked him like, "Who are you proud of?" or "Who are you thankful for?" whatever. And he was like, "No, I'm proud of me." He's like, "I'm thankful for." He's like, "I'm thankful for me." And no, and it was like, this is how intense and serious. Like he's a straight up dude. He's like, I didn't have a dad.
I believe it.
He's like, I didn't have a dad that was there to throw me batting practice or hit me ground balls. So I threw to myself. He's like, I'm proud of me. He's like, no one helped me get here. I did it myself. So I'm proud of me. And like, honestly, that's like respect. Like he did it himself.
Yeah.
Like
he's going up on the wall of favorite players. I like this guy.
He's a dog,
I'm sad
man.
He plays for the White Sox. I want him to win more games.
He might get traded. They'll trade him. Watch, they'll trade him.
Probably, yeah.
They'll trade him. All right, let's go to. We're about 40 minutes now. Let's just go to fair or foul. What do you want to talk about?
Well,
all right, go ahead, bring it up.
No,
Lisa's favorite umpire retired.
I was gonna say we have to bring it up. We don't have to spend a lot of time on it. I think honestly everything that needs to be said about this has been said already. I don't think we need to belabor this topic, but Angel did retire, and we've said it before. We might be the most impactful show in baseball somehow, some way. Maybe it doesn't show in the views, but it shows in the vibes we put out, because every time we say something, immediately the next week it's taken care of.
Yep.
So
Lisa puts out a video about robo-umps, and immediately Angel Hernandez had to have seen it. He had to have seen it, and he says, you know what, she's right.
He was like, I can't do one more. He's at home, and he's like, I can't do one more video with a thumbnail with my face on it talking about umpires. And then I put that up. So basically, if you're happy that he retired, you should thank us for the work that we've done in baseball. But yeah, I mean, look, it's funny. He's gone now. I don't think there's much, like I said, I don't think there's much else to say about it, but it would be amiss if we didn't at least bring it up, because it was big news last week.
People say that Angel is retiring. Our Stealing Home reporters actually said that's a misreport. Like, that's not true. He's not retiring. He's actually taking a little bit of time off to go and actually become a robot ump. He's getting surgically enhanced like a cyborg, and he's going to come back as a robot ump. And I think he's doing that to sabotage the umps, because if you thought he was bad as a human, he's going to be even worse as a robot, in my opinion.
That's
Angel Hernandez is saving the umpires.
That's a plot twist in a weird bit. But yeah, let's get into fair or foul then.
Also, shout out London series next week, but we can get into that when we look at next week's games. First, go ahead. Time for our favorite segment of the show.
Wait, real quick. Do we have to talk about the London series with accents? Because I can't do it.
We'll find out when we get there. But fair or foul?
Okay.
Time for our favorite segment.
It's time for fair or foul.
First one
Best segment on this show
is called Cosmic Baseball. Owner of the Chili Peppers out in Virginia, some Virginia Summer League. They got glow-in-the-dark uniforms and black lights and played baseball in the dark. This reminds me of like college when we used to have blacklight parties with highlighters. This is exactly the vibe. Fair or foul on this?
Who? This was a independent league?
Summer
Or a minor
baseball,
league
summer
team?
baseball league. It's either independent or
Okay.
like collegiate summer league. I think it's
Yeah,
collegiate,
this is
maybe
fair.
not.
This is fair. This looks like fun.
This is sweet.
I'd watch this.
I think this is fair too. Apparently, the hitter said it's a lot easier to hit the ball. With
I believe
this. Yeah, because I guess it's
I believe
glowing
it.
and you can see a trace. Like you can kind of see like a tracer round. Like you can see the trajectory of it almost.
That's interesting. Anecdotally, I played pickleball like this.
Black
Not
and white.
easier.
Wait,
Harder.
with black lights and
It
glow in the dark?
wasn't. It wasn't black. They had glowing balls, so everything else was dark but the balls, and I think that's what made it hard because we didn't have like glowing paddles or anything. I know. Okay. Tee.
my 8th grade brain is.
Yeah, but the ball was lit up and everything else was pitch black. Not great. This very cool.
All right,
Very
double fair on
I like
Cosmic Baseball. The next one, we got Adam Duvall for the Braves playing right field, showing off his marksmanship, nailing a
Wow.
pyramid of cans.
this. Ooh, that's cool.
Are you concerned about the safety of the fans out there with a lot of the shrapnel flying around? It looks like some of the fans have their hands up looking for help. I think that's what they were doing.
This is a baseball show, so I'm going to keep a lot of my thoughts to myself. And I'm going to say, no, I was not worried about the fans. I think that they can handle it. And luckily for them, they're probably, with all those cans, it looks like they're probably drunk enough that they wouldn't feel it. Unlike that poor woman who got hit with
You
a
saw
100 and
that?
something mile an hour ball. So,
Yeah, from the Blue Jays girl. I forget her
Yeah.
name. Shout out her. Did you see this week too? Someone got hit in the head in the outfield from a home run. Someone got smacked in the face. Yeah.
no, I didn't see that.
All right,
Yeah, worry
fair.
about those people because that looks like it hurt. This is fine.
Fair for this. Also, you think he was aiming for that? Yes.
Yeah.
Duh.
Yeah, and he
All
was
right.
good. That's fair. This is amazing.
The next one we got is just a still picture of Los Angeles Dodgers Stadium. Bark in the park. Fair or foul? This, I'm gonna say foul right off the bat. This looks like a nightmare for me. I can already tell that this picture smells terrible. A lot of sweaty dogs. A lot of owners
Oh,
with
you're
sweaty
so
dogs.
right.
Licking everywhere, saliva. I like dogs.
Barking at each other
Can't
and then
hear
like
the
randomly
game.
growling.
Poop. You know they're peeing. You know those dogs are peeing on the concourse.
I try to be accepting of dog people. I like dogs when they're well behaved. A lot of them aren't. Kind of like kids. But yeah, I wouldn't go to this game.
I think out of all the takes we have, this one might get us canceled because we're both going to go foul here. Not a fan. Because it's just too much. It's just too much.
To go foul is like tough, but like this is insane. And you know, we met someone at the bar the other night who had come from Bark at the Park at the Rays fields, and I was like, there's absolutely no way that I would get a ticket. That sounds like my version of hell.
Well, the thing
To be
about
stuck inside with all of those dogs.
Bark at the Park at the Rays game, at least there's less fans. That Dodger Stadium was packed. I don't even know if
This is
it's
insane.
This looks like Where's Waldo, and you're trying to find like something.
This is awful.
hidden.
This is awful.
All right.
It's just that there's so many of them, and you know they're not all well behaved, or then you know some of them are smelly and they don't know boundaries
Look,
because they're dogs.
she's trying to explain herself so she doesn't get canceled from dog people.
Yeah, foul.
By the way, she has a cat, and I think her cat is just as smelly. So your cat's stinky. All right.
You don't like his food, but that's a different story.
This we've had this debate forever, and this will last like another hour. So we'll have the
Yeah,
cat
so we're
debate
gonna
later.
move on. Yeah, you
She's
come
like, "We're
when I
gonna move
feed
on."
him.
She's-
That's your problem.
she's like, "We're
Yeah, when I
gonna move
open the
on."
can, it's smelly.
All right, let's look
Anyway.
at next week's matchups. Any midweek matchups that you're like, ooh, this one's gonna be cool. I see one right off the bat. Royals at Guardians is gonna be sweet, in my opinion.
Yes, that is going to be a big game for the Royals. Less of
Yeah.
a big game for the Guardians.
Well, they want to create some distance, but that's definitely one to tune in. Maybe another one would be Blue Jays Orioles. That one might be a good one. Phillies Brewers is gonna be solid too. Let's not ignore
Cards
that.
Astros. I mean, Cardinals are hot.
Nah. Astros.
Astros are dead.
Yeah,
So-
exactly. But another one too. Two top teams, or not two.
Yep.
Twins aren't top. I'm just gonna say Twins and Yankees, but Twins aren't top.
I saw that one. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think let's see, a series of the midweek, like series of the week for midweek series. Is that even series of the week for the midweek series?
Series of the week for midweek would be Royals Guardians for sure.
Same. I'm on the same page. All right, now let's look at the weekend matchups. Now you might be like, whoa, hold on. What are the primetime games, Anthony? Because we see Dodgers and Yankees are double dipping, but then we also see Phillies and Mets. What's going on here? Well, Lisa, cheerio. We have the London series.
Oh no!
The Phillies and the Mets are playing over in London.
I can't do a whole episode like that.
So we're going to have the primetime games. We have 4 to pick. All right, but before we talk about that, let's anything.
Cheerio, governor.
any good matchups. Obviously, I don't think Phillies and Mets are that good because the Mets aren't that good. Royals and Mariners. Maybe I'm being a little Royals biased.
No, I mean, I think coincidentally, those 2 matchups would be the 2 matchups that I pick of this weekend.
Royals, Mariners, Yankees, Dodgers? Or you're talking about the two that are primetime?
Phillies, Mets, Dodgers, Yankees. I mean, everything else.
Yeah, fair. Dodgers, Yankees. It's the series of the series of the midweek. Whatever series of the weekend. That's a lot easier of a title.
That one's gonna be big. That one's gonna be a big one.
That's gonna be.
I'm excited. So
at Yankee
how's
Stadium,
it gonna work? So it's in London time. So what exactly?
I can't understand you. What did you say?
Are you gonna explain how the London games work?
Oi, that's Australian. Yeah, so for sure. Okay, yeah, I'll just do it without the accent because I don't want people to change from this.
You give me one more attempt.
All right then. What? Oh, that's not British.
It's Aussie. It's Aussie. I don't know. You have to watch Bridgerton.
I need to go back and watch some more Peaky Blinders. It's like, alright, here's the thing, right? Is that like if the Phillies and the Mets are playing, right? Like I'm Alfie Solomons.
It's getting there. Right, it's getting somewhere.
So they're playing in the morning, which gives them the opportunity to double dip. So there'll be some morning primetime games with the night games that usually follow on Saturday and Sunday. But because they're in London, across the pond, obviously time difference. I'm not sure if you're aware of that's how the globe works. They're going to be in a different part of the globe. So the sun comes up earlier, which allows them to play games earlier than us. Do you want to make your picks? Do you want me to give the picks first? Because you usually give them first. What are we thinking here? We got 4 picks to make. And before we make them, let's look at the standings. 9-11, 8-12. We might be the worst pickers. Yeah. We might be the worst pickers. We got to get our records up. We got to get our records up. I know. All right. Let's start with one series at a time. Let's go London series. Who's winning that?
Okay.
Sorry. Saturday and Sunday.
Which one was the London series? Because I thought they were both in London.
No, just the Phillies and the Mets.
Phillies, Mets. Okay. Oh, yeah. Phillies both. Which I said this weekend, and they did not do. I did not anticipate the Cardinals being on a hot streak as much as they were. But yes, Phillies both.
All right. I'll go crazy. Mets both.
Dude, you don't have to do that.
I don't care. I'm doing it.
Okay.
I know I don't have to, okay? Do you think I'd make my picks based on you? No.
Yes.
I go into deep thought and meditation every time I make a pick. And I'm going Mets both. They're going to go over to London. Let me get out of this so you can see my face. They're going to go over to London, all right? The Mets are. The Metropolitans, all right? You know what they got? You know what London is? Do you even know what London is considered? That's a metropolitan.
No. Oh, shit. Yeah. You're right. Didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
What are we going to do?
Are there any Phillies in London? No. There's no Philly. They don't serve Philly cheesesteak. They have
I've never
crumpets.
seen a Philadelphia in London.
They have crumpets. They don't have Philly cheesesteaks. They have crumpets. I don't even know what that is.
Scones.
Scones
are cookies.
They have fish and chips. They don't, that's a metropolitan. So I'm going
Biscuits
Mets.
or cookies? I don't even know. I don't know how food works in London. I don't understand
I'll go
it's
Mets
not very good.
Twice.
Okay, fair enough.
So the Mets and Phillies play at 1 o'clock on Saturday and then 10 a.m. on Sunday. And
maybe that's what the Mets need, to be in another country.
That's what I'm saying. Might turn their season around. Maybe they're not dead. Maybe they get on.
It's like Denver.
Yeah.
We'd have to study it. Maybe they're on like a prime meridian line.
If they win both, they got to play the rest of the season in London. All right. Dodgers at
I'll
Yankees.
make this one easy for you by making a horrible mistake.
No,
because I am.
If you make me pick the Yankees because you picked the Dodgers twice.
No, I was gonna say, since I am a Yankees fan, at least in name only. Yeah, I'm gonna pick the Yankees twice.
I kind of want to pick the Yankees. It's in Yankees. It's in Yankee Stadium.
Yeah, well, I'm picking them twice, so you can pick them for one. You can split. You're allowed to do that.
No, Dodgers twice.
Okay.
I'm going Mets twice, Dodgers twice. That's what I'm doing.
Okay. All right. Well,
yep. That's it. That's all we got. What a show! What a show! I think that show ran off the tracks a few times.
A little bit, but you know what?
What?
We're here for chaos. We're unserious.
Oi. From London.
Cheerio, governor.
I'm from London. Oh, that's not. I don't know what I'm doing.
I don't know what you're doing either. All right.
Know.
Well,
football.
If you're still here.
Football. What is a kilometer? What is a kilometer?
USA. Yeah. Oh! Were you an Eagle fan
yes.
for a second? Okay. If you're still here, it looks like you're deep throwing to the mic is what it looks like.
Don't do that.
Thank you for if you're still here, thank you for being here. Please subscribe, like, comment, all the stuff. Clearly, we're going nuts. We need the support. Please support us.
No code brown. No code brown. We made it all the way through.
We need your help. Okay. But I think that's it for this week. We'll see you next week.
Yep. If you like our show, be sure to check out the other videos we do. Lisa puts out some fire videos with robo umps.
Do you have one
and blackouts? To be determined. Either this Friday or next Friday, depending on what we want to do with the scheduling. But
yeah. So keep an eye out for extra innings. They're really good.
Daily show every week on Mondays only.
Yes.
Weekly show Mondays.
Daily
videos on top.
Monday show every week.
All right.
Can we end this now?
Until next time.
USA. Tell me what you're drinking, we can go pour one. Tell me what you're thinking, we can have some more fun. I know that you said you don't think of me, but what you're doing now is telling different. Tell me what you're drinking, we can go pour one. Tell me what you're thinking, we can have some more fun. I know that you said you don't think of me, but what you're doing now is telling different.